Miracles happening for football. They happen. And Liverpool proved that this is the greatest sport in the world, and it proves that you just never, ever, ever know. I think this, because you look at Miracle as company, look at the 2005 game, look at the Deportivo AC Milan game, this just shows that you just never know. You just never know. So, but just wanted us to really break this down, look at the ins and outs of this game in particular. And I think, people look at what Origi did, or look at what Origi did, Henderson did, and everything where Barcelona failed. But I think we've got to start with Klopp, because I think Klopp's setup, because Liverpool played well in the first leg, but I just think, Klopp had a very difficult hand on him. He had a much more difficult game plan than Valverde. Valverde's game plan is score goals, just try and score goals. Klopp's game plan is we have to stop Barcelona scoring, got to keep it strong, but we've got to try and find those goals. So we have to have a balance where we obviously aggressively press and attack and really are energetic, but we can't be susceptible to the counter attack. We can't be light on the back, and we can make it easy for them to find spaces when they have possession of the ball. But you have to, I think, just from how the match started, you could look at Henderson. Now, Henderson is the guy I put in the bread curtain. I said that this guy runs hard, has a lot of grit and a lot of passion, but technically he's not very good and he's brainless and not a very intelligent player. So I was scathing in my assessments of him. He's just a passion merchant. But in the last few months, this guy's definitely improved. And what Henderson did is that he did have the passion, he did have the energy, but he was effective. He was tiresome. He was a pest for the Barcelona midfield, and he did not allow them to rest. And Barcelona couldn't really settle. And really, Henderson set the tone for the kind of intensity that Liverpool had, because he handed them, he pressed them, he tracked back, he did not allow them to rest, he chased every single scrap. But also he brought the ball forward, he kept driving forward, he kept going for the juggler, he kept going direct, and you could just see that he believed and he exemplified Liverpool's mindset of like, we are not only winning this game, but we're going to go through. And that first goal, again, mistake from Alba, but I think you can say it was a mistake from Alba, but Barcelona were shook. Barcelona really couldn't respond to the intensity, which is why you could look at Valverde is maybe this is a game that's built for Arthur rather than having the same setup. Because I say, bring Arthur into the game. Bring Arthur into the game. This is about keeping possession of the ball. This is about making the game slow, making the game boring, and restricting the amount of possession that Liverpool have. Which is because I think Arthur is much better in possession than a Vidal. So Arthur being there would have been better. But still, Alba made the mistake. Henderson drove. The ball was combined. Mane got the ball, gave it into Henderson. Henderson was the one that hit the shot. For me, the thing with Stegen is that I looked at it as a goalkeeping mistake, because he was wrong-footed. Because if you look at it carefully, I think he thought that Henderson was going to go bottom right, so he moved a bit to his left. And when he just realized that, he's not, he then adjusted. But because he adjusted too late, the best he could do was just palm it. And he palmed it right into the direction of Origi. Origi tapping. But don't call that a tapping. Don't call it a comeback. Don't call that a tapping. Anybody who, if you've not played football before, you're like, yeah, Origi tapping, whatever. But anybody who's played football will know that for Origi, that's intelligence. That is anticipation. That is reading of the game. That is being aware of what is happening. Because Higuain doesn't score that goal. Melo guy doesn't score that goal because they're too slow to react to what is happening, and they're not being aware of, okay, there's something happening in there. You know what? Let me be there for a rebound. Let me just take a chance to rebound. I know 90% Stegen is going to palm the ball away or save it, but on the options he does it, let me just be there before those defenders to get the tap in. His gambled, paid through, and boom, the tap-in was there based on his work of reading the game and anticipating. So once Liverpool got that early goal, it was not about Barcelona coming back, and Barcelona reacted well. I think once Barca saw that early goal, that woke them up, and they're like, all right, we ain't going into halftime 0-0. It's on now, and we have to react. And I think Barca reacted very well. So they were getting combinations and everything. And there's going to be a theme here. This has to be one of the worst games that Cannibal Suarez played. He was trash. I have stripped him of his, I think I had him as tier 2 or upper tier 2 status. He's now a class B break. That was the disgraceful performance. And as I got told, One CL goal this season, that's a disgrace. That is a full 100% disgrace. He was non-existent. And it was problematic because you have a Coutinho who is very limited in what he can do. Messi is having to do pretty much everything in attack. And literally Barcelona's attack was primarily Messi and Alba. Those are the only guys who had any kind of energy with the attack. Both Coutinho and Cannibal were ineffective, but I just thought that one of the key moments in this game, this is a turning point in this game. Now, people talk about Van Dijk being the best defender in the world, and I think he's definitely up there. But the best defender in both legs, arguably one of the best players in both legs, has been Joel Matip. Shout out to my West African brother out there, our West African neighbors. You see, Barcelona had a very nice little interplay and really opened up Liverpool, and Messi had the opportunity to put the ball through because it was one-on-one. I was like, he takes that thing first time, it's a goal. It's a goal. He was straight on right at Alisson, it's a goal. But for some reason, which I don't know, maybe Messi will explain to me, he hesitated and he tried to now move the ball a bit more to his left to get a better angle to make it easier for him. Messi's really a simple thing. It's you put the ball in the net. This is no time for you to take it easy. Let me have the perfect goal. If that ball comes through, this is hot as a wheel right now, you shoot first time. Maybe you miss, but you shoot first time. But that momentary hesitation, Matip pounced. And Matip's block on Messi for me was huge. If Messi scores that 1-1, it's a different kind of game because psychologically, Liverpool are like, man, we're going to have to get 4 Gs. Damn it. So that was a huge moment in the game. So again, chances here and there, but I think, Liverpool's intensity was definitely there, and especially with what Robertson and Alexander-Arnold were doing, they were really controlling the wing-back game. Though, Alba really came in big time, especially in the first leg, but in this second leg, Alba was restricted a lot, and it was really controlled. But then again, end of the first half, huge chance from Alba. Great field from Messi, nice little Lufa through ball, Alba, but then Alisson with a key save. Key thing about that keeper is you may not do anything for 20, 30 minutes, but you always have to be aware and always have to be sharp. So coming into the second half now, see, Shaqiri didn't have a great game. He definitely did not have a great game. But again, who did Ronaldo come on from? Who did Ronaldo come on for? Please, someone remind me. I'm not sure. But basically, once Ronaldo came on into the second half, that changed the dynamic. And that's the crazy thing. When he came on, I was like, all right, what's he really going to do? Because he's not really a dribbler. He's not really an attack-minded player. He keeps the ball. Yeah, he gets a goal here and there, but what's he really going to do? So I think the second goal that was scored, and I think this is where Alexander-Arnold really became one of the MVPs of the game, because again, this is where the game changed, because the game was still pretty even. Liverpool definitely controlling the game. They were looking more dangerous, but Barcelona's counter game was very good, and they knew that, okay, look, we still have a threat. We are under a lot of pressure here, but we're posing a threat. So it was a nice aggressor counter kind of game that we're having. But things switched a little bit when we now had that second G. Again, for Alexander-Arnold winning the ball, and that's just the beauty of what he did. Because for me, I've always been like a bit of a critic of Alexander-Arnold because his crossing has always been very wayward. But this is the beauty of what he did, because what I always say to guys who are crossing the ball is think before you cross. Don't just cross for the sake of crossing. Think. Put your head up, and you're like, okay, maybe the ball doesn't need to go over. And Alexander-Arnold, he had his head up, and I was like, if I put the ball in the air, we're now playing with numbers here. He put his head as like, you know what? Let me try and make the numbers come to my advantage. Who can I really pick out? So he saw Ronaldo, I think even Mane and the rig in the middle. You know what? Let me do a ground ball in there, because there's a bit of space in there. Let me do a ground ball right into the penalty area and just see what comes of it. So he put the ball in there. It was more accurate. It was different because I think the defense were anticipating a regular ball over the top. And for Wijnaldum, great reading. He saw it pounced. First to get into it, Piqué and Longley were too slow to react. Boom, put it all through. At 2-0, you now saw it was slightly changing. I'm like, whoa. And Barcelona they were now shook. They're like, wait a minute. surely not. Surely not. And then, boom, man. I think it was Shakira that came in with the cross, because this goal came in very soon after. And when Wijnaldum came in again with the clutch header, getting in between, I think, Longley and Piqué, at 3-0, game changed. 3-0 game changed. And this is where Barcelona were like, their heads went. Their heads completely went, because for them, psychologically, they were like, it's happening again. And they did not have anything within them to mentally get back. And this is where you had draw parallels here. This is what I should have maybe tweeted at before, because if the 3-time winning Real Madrid were in this situation, I believe they lose the game like 4-1 or 3-1 or maybe even 4-1. That Real Madrid team, they get a goal. Especially if they're 3-0 down, they get the goal somehow. Because, as I said, Messi is a better player than Cristiano all day, every day. Cristiano understands that ball needs to enter that net. So just give the ball to me. However it gets in, just go straight. That I put that ball in that net. And sometimes in this kind of situations, you need that kind of straight, direct, thugged out, unfiltered viewpoint. It's not about being pretty and having the right part. Get the ball, look straight and just shoot. Cross the ball into the ball, elbow your guy through and just hit the ball in. So, but for Barcelona, mentally, characteristically, they were done. And I think this is where you really see your strength of character. Do you have the ability, when all the chips are against you, to try and find somehow, some way, a penalty, a foul to stop to try and get that goal? But it just seemed that the momentum was all about Liverpool. And then came the best moment in the game. You learn this from the beginning. You learn this in school. Even whenever you played forward in school, you learn this in school. Always stay switched on. Always stay switched on. See, for Alexander-Arnold, what this guy did for me, I thought was brilliant. Genius. Because what he did was he had the ball there. And he was always saying, okay, look. This just shows a guy that's thinking. Because in his mind is, these defenders aren't moving. No one is moving. They're still settling down. Because this goes back to, for me, the embarrassing way in which Barcelona were reacting to being under pressure. Because their poor reaction under pressure shows that they had a lack of concentration, where you should be at your most heightened. Because again, at 3-0, you're still in it. It's all square, but you're still in it. But at 3-0, I really believe they gave up mentally. So they went to sleep. But for Alexander-Arnold, so they were asleep, and I was like, quick corner. And as soon as he took it again, Origi, because it was very simple for Origi to be just as asleep as the defenders. But this just shows the brilliance of what Origi was about. Which is why I said for Origi is that, forget about, he may not look as technically refined as a Mane or as a Sturridge or as a Salah. But what this guy has is goal-scoring instinct. Same thing with Batshuayi, who may look iffy, but a guy that just has that goal-scoring instinct and understands the thing of, it's money time, let me cash in. It's money time, let me cash in. So when he get the ball, was the first to react. Origi was also the first to react. Everybody was left sleeping. A embarrassing, disgraceful goal for Barcelona to concede. And I think from then on, boom. So for me, and outstanding. And it's like, see, the thing that I would say to people, this is the half of football hot. I try my best. I know I love Uncle Mo, but I'm not here about agenda. So I know that I'm not here about, oh my gosh, I hate this team and this team is crap, or this player is crap and everything, you know. I try and be as true as possible. I have my issues with Cristiano. When he comes in big, I give him his plaudits. Because this isn't an agenda play. This is the half football hot. I'm here to look at football as objectively as possible, to give you the best unfiltered analysis possible. What Liverpool did, man, was huge. And I said it from the get-go that Anfield, that's a problem. Secondly, Anfield, that's a problem. I thought Barcelona would win. How they lost this, for me, is disgraceful. They're a bunch of guys. You go log into the website. I've put in a lot of inductions at the Brick Academy right now. But the mindset that Liverpool had from the first minute, the belief that they had, and as I said, maybe I think Barcelona would win, but believe. If you don't believe, don't turn up. Don't waste my time. Don't waste my time. And what this has shown is never give up. Never give up. Salah had it on his shirt. There's no point in giving up because, okay, even if it's impossible, if you're not even going to try and believe, don't bother. Don't waste that time. But if you're going to turn up, believe somehow, some way, through somehow, you will be able to do it. So the way Liverpool did this, man, I believe it's their year. It just doesn't make sense for them not to get this done. Because if they do secure this Champions League, this is Klopp's best season ever. If he secures this Champions League, this is his best season ever, based on just how well this team has played, how good this team is, how well balanced they are in defense, midfield, and attack. I think it will definitely be one of their best seasons. So, an amazing performance, and I think Barcelona have zero to complain about. I just think for Barcelona, it's just pitiful mentality, a pitiful mentality. But as bad as Barcelona were, and as horrible as the Carnival were, Liverpool made them play badly. Liverpool were too intensive. They ran too much. They pressed too much. They were quicker to everything. They were quicker to every 50-50. But Klopp's tactical game plan of restricting what Messi was about, being defensively astute, getting the midfield to hustle up, for Fabinho to hustle up, and to make it difficult for Barcelona to get anything, making them sweat. The amount of times that Messi was running through by himself and he had 3-4 guys stopping him down. Because Liverpool knew that, all right, Messi is going to go on those solo runs and try and find that through ball. You know what he's going to do? Which is what I always said. You can't beat Messi one-on-one. How do you tackle him? You get him from behind. You hustle him and get that tackle from behind that he can't see, which is what Liverpool were doing very well. But for Wijnaldum, man, wow. Basically, for Wijnaldum and Origi to get 2 goals each, no, my full black brothers, you know, I ain't no black or something, what kind of forever, you know what I'm saying? Amazing. So, look, man, I believe it's their year. I believe it's their year. It is a final, anything can happen. That is a bloody amazing stadium, and I think it's going to be an amazing event. By the way, because I'm a huge fan of Klopp. As I said before, if I was a player, I would love to play for Klopp because I just think his mindset is so much fun that it would be great to play under him. I think based on how many people have criticized him for not winning a trophy, for him to close this out with a trophy, especially coming through the season they've had and this second leg, they have to do it. It would be so messed up if after everything you've done, especially in one of the craziest comebacks we've seen, to not close the deal. They made the final last season. It was unlucky. It's time to unfinished business, shall we say. But who will stand in their way? Peace. Thanks for watching the video. Now think about becoming a Football Hot patron by pledging an amount each month and then gain access to exclusive content only on the Football Hot Patron page. Peace. Head over to the official site at halffootballhot.com or just click over here.